Guys, good evening from Istanbul, and Turkish Airlines is back with full service. So today I'm booked on their flagship, the Airbus A350 in business class all the way to Dubai. So let's do this. Let's go to Dubai. Super fast track here with Turkish Airlines traveling in business class. You have a separate check-in counter, separate immigration, a fast track, and you're literally through in a minute. And now we're going to go to one of the best airport lounges in the world here at Istanbul Airport. So it all seems a little bit confusing since there's a business lounge, then there is a lounge for Starline's Gold members. So yeah, just trying to figure out which one is a business class lounge, because there's a business lounge and a Miles and Smiles lounge. All a bit confusing here. But before we enter the lounge, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN, where since I started to travel, I use a VPN because I want my data and passwords to be protected, and that's one of the many things Surfshark does for me. Plus, you can use them on all your devices. But it also helps me to access all Netflix libraries all around the world. I can also watch the highlights of my favorite football team from anywhere in the world by simply changing my IP address. Another good perk, I also save money by finding cheaper flights through Surfshark VPN by changing my location. And the great thing is, you can do the same. If you use the link in the description box below, you will get 83% discount plus 3 additional months for free. On top of that, you support my channel. Now, let's go back to the review. So and here we are. Welcome to the Turkish Airlines lounge. I don't know who of you guys remembers the old lounge at Ataturk Airport, which was a masterpiece of a lounge, probably the best lounge the world has ever seen back then. And this one pretty much picked up where the old one left. However, in times of COVID right now, it feels a bit crowded because parts of the lounge are also closed. However, the offers you have here in terms of food, live cooking station, like fresh food, like from the grill right on your plate, which isn't always the norm, but it seems very promising. And now that service is back at Turkish Airlines, from what I've heard, I'm very much looking forward to the flight, because in my opinion, catering with Turkish Airlines has always been the best of any airline. All right, spent a good hour at the lounge. A little busy, a little packed at this time of the day, but still has great facilities. But overall, it was very nice to see that traffic and passenger numbers have picked up quite a lot here in recent months at Istanbul International Airport. Oh my god, guys, I just saw a Cahill Airbus A350 flying to Tehran, which is obviously an Iranian airline, taking off from here. Such a treat. Gets me so excited. I've been planning for the longest time to go to Iran to fly all those Airbus A300s, 310s, the 747-300, the only one left in the world, MD-83, and all those really rare planes that you can only find in Iran. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comment section below. So give the video a like and let me know in the comments, and I'll be going to Iran by the end of the year if the situation gets better. But this is a mission or a dream of mine that I had for the longest time. I hope we can make it happen, and then we're gonna have an Iran aviation travel series. How does that sound? Let me know. Today's flight is operated on an Airbus A350-900, Turkish latest and most modern plane. Currently, the airline is operating 5 of them, with 20 more to join within the next 2 years. Turkish Airlines is my most flown airline, mostly due to the great network and fair pricing. But it also always wins the prize for the grumpiest and laziest crew on Earth. This scene right here stands testament for any Turkish airline flight. Instead of walking towards your passenger and welcome him, she runs away, because she either hates humans or just simply doesn't understand how service works. That is something TK crew will never understand, unfortunately. So, and here we are. Welcome on board the Airbus A350 of Turkish Airlines. An absolute stunning, beautiful, mind-blowing cabin. I love it. It's the colors, the design, the finishing, everything is just perfect. It's really, really lovely. Though some argue the seat is more of a regional business class kind of product. This is what Singapore Airlines does, for example. But given the flight today, 3.5 hours, this is more than perfect. Would I try it on a long haul? Yes, absolutely as well. So yeah, don't know whether you remember, I was actually one of the first aviation YouTuber to cover this new 350 last year in October from Istanbul to Antalya. This is what they usually do. That was the same with the 787. The cabin of the 350 is a little bit wider than the one of the Dreamliner, but if you want, I'll give you a quick little seat tour. But this is just a beautiful product. There's a massive screen right in front of you. Here's the table for the dinner service, which you can release. I'm going to show you that a little later. Heaps of storage space, as well as a compartment here. You have a mirror right there, as you can see, remote control, and here are all the controls for your seat, and this is what the actual seat looks like. This is the cabin. And right now, I still have the entire cabin to myself because the actual distance from the business class lounge to the gate here probably took me 25 minutes. So there's probably just a call right now at the business lounge saying, okay, we're boarding our flight to Dubai. So people are hurrying here. They will probably realize in a little bit what distance they have to cover. I think this is a little bit of a downside here of the airport in Istanbul. Though I love it. You know, it's a beautiful designed airport, but it's just too big. That's what she said. So I ended up with a true window seat, so it alternates between a seat that's closer to the aisle and then one that has more privacy. I have 6K, which is an actual true window seat. It has more privacy, and you also have this little cocoon design here, which is very noise cancelling. You will notice that during the flight. However, the negative thing with this cocoon is that it blocks the window right here, so I can't just have a look out the window here. If I want to see the engine, I have to go to the second window. I mean, I don't mind it too much because here the situation is a little bit more convenient, but sometimes you just have one window and it is blocked by this little panel here. But other than that, I'm loving it. So it seems like something's on fire over there at the gate because there are fire trucks rushing to the scene and there's a lot of like smoke building up there. So no idea what is really happening, but I hope it doesn't affect our departure time since boarding is just completed. It doesn't look too good. Hope it's just a little fire or something. Cabin is pretty full, but the great thing is with those seats, you don't even realize it because it's so private. Crew was just giving out headphones. Short little reminder to Lufthansa, this is how you provide your guests with headphones before the pandemic, also after the pandemic. So they have to be handed out in a sealed bag, sanitized, and let's check, surprise, surprise, there is no human skin on here. Sanitized, they're clean, and this is not debatable. Something I absolutely love about Turkish Airlines, as a business class traveler, you get 1 gigabyte of data as part of your ticket. If that isn't enough, you also have plenty of movie choices. So let's see what it looks like when we go flat. First tip, you have 2 armrests on each side. You have to lower them in order to increase your space. Bam, you hit this button here and off you go.
So this is an absolute flatbed experience right here, and a lot more spacious definitely than the Dreamliner, for example. But it doesn't necessarily pass the canoe test because I still find it to be rather tight around my feet area. I still prefer the seat on the 777 because this is like almost a single mattress. Of course it's a 222 configuration, but it's so much more spacious, and the bedding they used to have was amazing. Really actually loved the 777 on Turkish Airlines. Yeah, but this is what it looks like here on the 350. The one thing I also noticed is really hot inside the cabin here. Very hot. But then there's also like individual air conditioning right here. It kind of blows into your face quite nicely.
Do you remember my awful COVID flight from Jakarta to Istanbul last year when I was served those terrible lunch boxes cause hot food causes COVID infections? Well, Turkish Airlines finally understood that COVID-19 can't be transmitted through hot food, and guess what? They've reintroduced it. Turkish Airlines was once celebrated for its amazing catering pre-pandemic, and I'm glad it's back. How was it? A lot better than anything they have served in the past months, and it feels like the good old days. Thank you, Turkish Airlines, for bringing hot food back. How to summarize my flight on Turkish Airlines? Well, some things will never change, and I don't think I will ever get to experience great service or a smiling crew on Turkish Airlines, but I came to terms with it, and to be honest, I don't even care anymore, but I definitely loved the lounge experience. It's great to see that the cost-cutting madness is slowly coming to an end, and COVID isn't used as an excuse anymore, given that Turkey reported record infection numbers the day I took this flight. I love the Airbus A350. I love the seat, and I very much enjoyed the food on this flight. It is time to fly Turkish Airlines again? Yes, it is. Totally. Time to book a flight on the Turkish flag carrier again. They are almost back to normal, and I felt that my money was very well spent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was it. This was my Turkish Airlines A350 review in business class from Istanbul to Dubai. If you like my work and you want to support me or join my WhatsApp group, please check out my Patreon page. You can find the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week again.